Hi and welcome back. I'm Alexander, and this is another Rialta Owners Group of America Owners Tech video. Today we're going to get up on the roof of our Rialta and we're going to do our routine maintenance, the cleaning and the inspection of the roof-mounted air conditioning system. It's only a couple things you need to have. You need a ladder that extends above the roof line, stable. Don't use a leaning ladder because you're going to damage the fiberglass on the back of the Rialta. A standing ladder like this works very well, supports a lot of weight, and your other tool is just a standard mechanical screwdriver. Don't bring up a power driver because the screws that are up on these units, if you use too much torque, you're going to strip them and you're just going to cause more problems. And you don't want anything being loose on the top of your Rialta, especially when you're going down the highway at 65 miles per hour. Oh, when you don't want to be reaching for things that might fall off when you're up there bumping, because even though it's only 8 feet, most serious injuries occur at falls below that height. Just a reminder, there really isn't a whole lot of owner serviceable parts in the rooftop unit, so beyond just routine inspection and cleaning, you shouldn't be delving into anything more serious than that. That should be handled by a professional technician at an air conditioning shop. You should start with a strong ladder and a strong determination to get up on top of your Rialta. You'll see here at the AC unit, on this particular model, which is a replacement unit, a Coleman Mach, there's 3 main screws to remove to take off the overhead cowling. If you take a look here, you can see where condensate is actually dripping across the roof. This will be one of the telltale signs that you might have blocked drains inside the AC cowling. By removing the 3 screws that are on top of this particular housing, we've taken care of the hold downs. But on this model, you need to pull back on the shroud because it has a couple of angle brackets in the back. Lift up from the back and then push forward, carefully removing the cowl made of ABS so that you can expose the inside of the air conditioning unit itself. Have you ever used an air horn at a sporting event or on a boat? When you squeeze the trigger, it allows the compressed gas, which is in a liquid form inside the canister, to expand out through the nozzle, and it becomes a gas again. This expansion allows this gas to spread out, and it feels very, very cold at the end of that nozzle. As a matter of fact, if you keep squeezing on the air horn, it may actually build up some frost on the outside. Well, that's the basic principles that are utilized in air conditioning. A compressed gas is hot. The gas that's allowed to expand is cold. So the basics are that the compressor compresses the refrigerant. It turns the gas into a liquid, and it comes out through these smaller, narrower lines. You notice there's 2 sizes of lines, the large lines and the small lines. The small lines are now full of liquid because it's been compressed from a gas, and it's very hot because those molecules have been pushed together. It goes in here through this coil, and the fan on top rotates in such a manner to pull cool air across these fins so that the compressed gas, now in liquid form, can cool down. Then it goes through a special valve, an expansion valve, and when it expands, it gets very cold, and then your internal fan kicks on, and that's blowing that cold air down in. Now remember, cold air is not the addition of cold, it's the removal of heat, but it's also the removal of the humidity in the air. Did you ever hear that expression, it's a dry heat? Well, that's what it really means. Without that humidity in the air actually doesn't feel as hot. There's no carrier for that temperature that's in the air. Air itself only holds temperature if it's trapped. Insulation in a wall traps air. The air has that temperature inside it, therefore you have the insulation. But without something to hold that air in place, it can't hold. The humidity, however, can hold that temperature in the air. So when the humidity is high, it's holding that heat and it sticks to you. Air conditioners work first to dehumidify the air. What they do by taking that air out is they're condensing that gas, that humidity, the water that's in the form of vapor, which is a gas, and it's condensing that down. And that condensation needs to go somewhere. It comes through your air conditioner. And if your holes on the draining on the top in the unit are blocked off, it could run off to the wrong side where it's not supposed to, or in some cases inside where it's definitely not supposed to. Basic inspection of your rooftop air conditioning unit is going to consist of making sure that the fan blades are undamaged, the motor moves freely, Be extremely careful around these fins because they are made of aluminum and they are extremely sharp. They also bend very easily, so you don't want to bang them. You can see where just the slightest amount of mechanical damage bends these over. If they're bent over or damaged, the air can't move when the fan's trying to pull it. The fan overheats, the compressed gas never cools down as much as it needs to before expansion, and the system doesn't work properly and eventually breaks down. This should only be rinsed with tap water pressure, never a pressure washer. The pressure washer will paint these over and it will block it by bending them over just as much as any other dirt, soil, or sediment would. So the basic components are your compressor, your high pressure line running from the compressor into the condenser fins in its coil, the fan motor and the blade, and then inside this unit is the evaporator coil. Only open this if you're getting water dripping inside. You remove the screws and you remove the metal tape that's on there. Replace this with the same metal tape when you put it back together. This little guy over here, that's a high-low pressure switch. If the pressure in the system is too high or too low, this is what will turn off your system so you don't ruin your air conditioning unit. After you've finished cleaning inside, all the ports are clear, all the debris is off, very carefully put the cowling back on, making sure not to have any damage occur to the fins in the back as noted earlier. Start each screw in the hole. Don't screw one in all the way because the holes need to be aligned first. And remember, only use a handheld screwdriver, not a power driver. The threaded holes inside these units are usually done with soft brass. And if you use a machine, you might strip those, and then you're going to have problems having it stay on or being able to take it off later when you need to. Remember while you're up there that the roof of your Rialta is not meant to carry heavy loads. It can hold your weight as long as you spread it out and don't stay up there too long, and you're below 250 pounds. Actually, I would recommend below 220 pounds, and well, I'm just barely making it. Remember also that while you're up there, it's a great time to check on your seals, on the caulking, on the plumbing vents, whatever else may be up there, to get an eyeball on that, just in case there's some caulk that's peeling off or a seal that's breaking loose or a crack that may have appeared, so you can address it before it causes damage inside. For the Rialta Owners Group of America, I'm Alexander, and this has been another Owner's Tech video.